Morning, YouTubers. Joe Kersey here. Friday, May 29th, 2015 at 8:01 in the morning, Eastern Daylight Time. You can see here I was moaning and groaning about how some of these movies seem to be lurking somewhere in my hard drive. And indeed they were. I've been tracking them down this morning, and we're in the midst of moving some here, as you can see, onto my trusty external drive, one of four that I have. So we're almost done here, actually. Well, there's my Seagate Backup Plus drive there, 2 terabytes. And we're in the time machine backing up, doing a backup here onto this brand new backup disk, since my 1 terabyte backup disk was full. So I had to switch to another one. And you can tell by the fact that I only had 140 gigabytes of material to back up that I was ultimately successful in my attempt to move out all but 50 gigabytes of movies, which is about what I thought I had left in there anyway. Turns out, no, I had about another 300 gigabytes of movies in there, but I don't know why they weren't listed, but I had to take them out of this folder called All My Files, so it's been a learning day for Joe, and that's good. Because as long as you're learning, I guess that still means you're alive, huh? So here's the extent of my movie files left in my hard drive, you know. That's it, and that's about the 55 gigabytes that I had more or less calculated the way I thought it should be. So the problem has been solved. Hooray! Learning curve. Paul has come home from the hotel, and he has brought goodies and treasures.
Coleslaw, potato salad, and pizza.
Coleslaw and what? What kind of?
Potato salad.
Oh, and potato salad. Oh, wow. And then za?
Yeah.
Oh, let's see what kind of za. Oh my, well. We'll be eating high on the hog today. Too bad for the hog, but good for us. Now, Paul had a little adventure turning into the driveway. He was turning left off of Worthington Road into our driveway, and apparently there was some very impatient fellow, two cars behind him.
He didn't like it. He's out there blowing his horn and yelling and hollering and cussing and everything else.
Oh, that was charming.
Bitching about the driveway.
Well, could he see the drive? Some people don't even realize it's a driveway.
I know.
But it hasn't quite hit that level of overgrowth yet.
No. I like when it totally disappears.
Well, yes, indeed. Well, you know, I do try to keep that mailbox number.
Yeah.
And, you know, well, that and for the fire department, too, and the police, and for the sheriff, if they'd ever have to come. God forbid. But from time to time, the sheriff has been out here. And I guess there's a girls' lacrosse team coming into the hotel.
Right. It's supposed to be high school age lacrosse team.
Oh, okay. And it's going to rain tomorrow or tonight, you think, so there'll be a lot of mud?
Other than that, because they're all going to be wearing cleats and shit, and they're bitchy. They'll wear the cleats into the hotel.
I wonder if that'll affect Carter's soccer game tomorrow, this rain, or maybe, well, if it's not raining, it won't affect it. But if it's raining at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, I mean, do they play in the rain? I mean, I know they don't play in storms.
Well, some soccer teams will play in the rain. Hell, they'll play on the stuff if the ground's covered with frost.
Well, that's okay.
And they come back going on however, slipping and sliding all over the place because the ground was still froze from the night's frost.
Speaking of playing soccer in the storms, this was a very, very unfortunate, very sad case that I was involved in. I did anesthesia on this man about at least 6 or 7 times. He was one of the players' dads. This was like a group of like 16-year-old and up soccer players, and this happened actually over in the Dayton area, but he lived in just a few miles east of here. And they had one of these freak sudden thunderstorms come up, and he got hit by lightning. He was out in the middle of the field. I don't know whether he's refereeing or coaching or whatever. He may have been on the sidelines. Anyway, he got hit by lightning. And it went in the top of his head and went out the bottom of his feet. And he went into cardiac arrest and was resuscitated. I won't say successfully resuscitated. Interestingly, by the standards of what we call a successful resuscitation, he was successfully resuscitated because his head, when I encountered him, was completely home. He had suffered no brain damage, no significant cardiac damage. He had a heck of a, he was pumping blood like man. He had good cardiac output. He wasn't doing badly except for one thing. This lightning had essentially fried all of his organs in his retroperitoneum, primarily his pancreas. Now, it didn't quite turn the pancreas to cinders, but it essentially liquefied it. Well, and then the surrounding area proceeded to liquefy over the next 9 months. And in the next 9 months, then, of course, eventually, all of this got infected and he died. So I bet he was really happy to have had these people resuscitate him from this lightning strike. But, you never know. I mean, not all these guys turn out that way, but a good number of them do. So we had this one surgeon who I did a lot of his cases with. And he was slower than cold snot running down a window in the winter. And you have to go in and debride all this stuff. You've got all this dead necrotic tissue in the retroperitoneum, and you go in and you're basically scooping out handfuls of this stuff. Then you put in drains, and then you post-operatively you go in and irrigate this stuff out. I did that for a couple of pancreatic cases, well, more than a couple of pancreatic cases when I was a resident in surgery at Ohio State. And, these are just brutal, brutal, brutal cases. And every time I encountered this guy, his heart rate was around 140. He was sweating. He obviously, he was very, very conscious. I mean, you could discuss things with him when he wasn't intubated, but he was intubated most of the time. You know, he'd blink and nod at you when you talked to him. You know. Oh, it was so sad. It was so sad. And so this high school over here, and one of the local athletic associations has a scholarship, you know, in his name for an outstanding soccer player from the area. Oh, just very, 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 very sad. But from an anesthetic business standpoint, the man had profoundly good insurance, and since the surgeries went on so long, the fees were higher. You know, I made a very tidy sum off of this poor man's sorrow and misfortune. That's one of those cases that sticks with you.
But you may not claim the lightning actually come from the ground up.
Well, it doesn't matter. Hell, Paulie got hit by lightning. His insides got fried, liquefied, turned into sludgy batter. But you wouldn't want to make a pancake out of that. So on that note, I'm going to say bye-bye, YouTubers. By the way, it's Friday. Oh, I've already said that. Alrighty, bye-bye.